right, peeps. I want to go over a trade recap on today's trade because I think today is a good day to go over a trade based off of the system I trade. Gonna put it out there. I didn't invent this system, like every other fake guru says they do. These strategies and confluences have been around for a while. I just figured out what worked best for me, and we're working what we got with. Okay. So again, I want to go over today's trade. I took a trade on ES. Start new. We'll go to market open. What we had going on today, right? Higher time frame. We'll use NASDAQ right now. Higher time frame was overall bullish coming into the day, right? We already retraced a little bit. This is Thursday. I don't know why it's saying Thursday. Let's see. Oh, yep, sorry. We ended up retracing a little bit overnight before market open. We've been trading at all-time highs, right? I took a short yesterday, and you'll see that trade recap on it. And I shouldn't have taken a short yesterday. Today would have been a good day to take a short, which I was looking for, but it ended up happening a little bit later in the day, and we already won our trade. So I'm going to explain that after the fact. But we've been trading at all-time highs. I've been trusting the overall higher time frame trend, right? Coming into the day, we're bullish on the hourly time frame. We're bullish on the 4-hour time frame. We have this 4-hour gap below that I wanted to see get filled, which ended up getting filled. And I believe we're going to continue higher now. But we had these draws in liquidity down below. We had London session highs above. I wanted to see if we were going to do what we did yesterday. We just ended up retracing down, continuing trend, continued higher. So I wanted to see if we were going to do the same thing today, and that's what ended up happening, right? So we'll go to the 5-minute time frame. We marked out all our draws in liquidity. You guys should already know how I do that. London session highs right here, 15-minute low, hourly low. We have an hourly low, Asian session low, and this 4-hour gap. Same thing over here on ES, right? We have this hourly low, Asian session, 4-hour gap, and we had another one below it on ES. We'll show that for you guys. You should be able to see it, just so you can get a viewpoint of it, right? ES is just so overly extended, guys. We're so bullish, right? Today would have been an opportunity to take a short, and I'll explain that like I said, but trading at all-time highs can be a little tricky sometimes when you try and hit short trades off of it when the overall higher time frame is just continuing higher, and the more experience I get, just flow with the trend, man. Sometimes you'll lose trades flowing with the trend, but most of the time you'll be right and wrong. But just follow the overall higher time frame trend. Some days can be trickier than others, identifying that. But again, you should be able to understand daily bias and stuff like that. And if you haven't yet, go back and research it. You should start studying that, putting it in your journal, journaling your trades every morning, doing that stuff. You know what I mean? Blah, 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 this and that. Okay? So we'll go over the 5-minute time frame. So NASDAQ looked like it wanted to continue higher, and we almost took a long position to target this London session high in NASDAQ, but I wanted my confirmation of a 5-minute SMT, and we'll go over that, okay? So market open, we end up coming down. Let's X this out. We'll just keep that right now. It's my break-even level. So the market ends up coming down, right? We end up sweeping a draw in liquidity down below, which is an hourly low. I thought we were going to continue lower, filling these at 4-hour gaps. Sorry for the dogs barking. And take out these draws after retracing back up. Because you can see on the 15-minute time frame, we end up forming a 15-minute fair value gap to the downside. But we end up forming a 5-minute SMT to the upside first. So if we see this hourly low, right? This hourly low is at Thursday the 7th at 6 a.m., right? And then we'll go to ES. Thursday the 7th, 6 a.m., right? Same hourly low. What do we do first? We wait and see if we have a potential reversal off it, because why not? We're at all-time highs. We can form an SMT, continue higher, take out London session, right? That's what happened. So we form a 5-minute SMT off of that. We'll go from this hourly low to this 5-minute low right here, right? This 5-minute low was formed at 9:45. Yep, 9:45, 9:50, okay? So we form this SMT. ES forms a low and a lower low. NASDAQ forms a low and a higher low. NASDAQ's the leading index to the upside. I wanted to wait for confirmation to take this trade, but by the time, if we look on the 1-minute time frame, by the time we ended up forming this SMT, right, we broke structure to the upside. When we finished this 5-minute SMT, when we closed with it, we were already up here. And the risk to reward was terrible, right? I wanted my stop loss to be around here, but the risk to reward was terrible. We would have had to enter up here. If we look at this 5-minute candle closure, which was right here, see, we closed above this high, right? So I was like, shit, I'm just going to fade this. There's no draws to target above after that. We'll see if ES wants to come up and target this London session high, because NASDAQ took it out, right? We're at all-time highs. Maybe we just want to keep making new highs. So I'm paying attention to this. We formed that 5-minute SMT, right? I want to see a 5-minute break of structure. We end up getting that, right? I'm still hesitant here because let's mark out the break of structure, because at 10 a.m., We ended up breaking structure to the downside in the hourly time frame on ES. NASDAQ didn't. But that was showing me that we want to continue lower. Is it now? I am not sure. Do we want to make one more retrace? Maybe. Or do we want to continue lower? Right? So my logic on this trade was we're looking at the 5-minute time frame. NASDAQ already took out this London session high. We're on the 5-minute. Right? We end up forming a 15-minute bearish fair value gap right here. I was so ready for shorts, guys. I swear if we got an entry, I probably would have taken it. 5-minute bearish and ES. 15, sorry. 15-minute bearish and ES. I probably would have taken it, right? My logic here is I wanted to see if we were going to form a 5-minute SMT off of this 15-minute fair value gap while NASDAQ swept out this London session high. That'd be perfect. It's the leading index to the downside. Maybe wanted one retrace to the 15-minute fair value gap. We did break structure on the 5-minute, but higher time frame holds higher power. And then I was also thinking, all right, we broke structure on the hourly, right? This means we might want to continue lower out of this 15-minute gap. So what am I going to look for first? Our 5-minute SMT. What do we get? Nothing, right? We don't get a 5-minute SMT. This candle closure at 10:10. Where's 10:10? 10:10. We still didn't get a bearish candle closure here, so we didn't form that new high yet, right? For me to identify a high, it's a bullish candle and a bearish candle. We didn't get that. So what do we do on this move? We come down into 5-minute equilibrium. Bang, one confluence. What else do? We respect this 5-minute bullish fair value gap. Bang. 5-minute bullish on ES, right? If we wanted to continue lower, and I was looking for it, you'll see in the live session, we would have inversed this 5-minute gap, disrespected this equilibrium level. What's our next thing to target if the price wants to continue higher? London session highs. And I started implementing Bookmap into my trading strategy just for extra confirmation, holding trades, this and that. I was a little bit hesitant because of Bookmap because I could see that we didn't have a lot of orders up here. We had orders at this level, sell limit orders, but we didn't have a lot. And you'll see we took profit where we had those limit orders, and it ends up dumping right after. So we had a great take profit because of Bookmap, but we also hesitated a little bit on the trade because of Bookmap. Again, we ended up taking the trade we saw, we trusted our system, and we accepted the risk, and it ended up playing out, which is awesome. But we could see, I'm like, all right, dude, maybe we don't want to retrace yet. NASDAQ shows me it wants to continue higher. The overall higher time frame is bullish. Yes, we're bearish on the hourly time frame and the 15-minute time frame, right? Because we broke structure to the downside on the 15-minute time frame. Hold on, let this load. Right? But we're overall bullish still in the higher time frames. Maybe we want to come up and sweep this high before we continue lower, right? That's my mindset. We're respecting bullish confirmation. We broke structure to the upside. NASDAQ looks like it wants to continue. We didn't form that S&T. If we wanted to drop here, we would have. And I saw this giant order come in. Price dropped down. It looks like it was going to on the 1-minute time frame, but I was observing the 5-minute, and we could see we ended up stopping those people out. It was a trap. We ended up coming back up, and I was like, all right, dude, we're probably going to want to continue higher here if we get confirmation. So what do I look for? Boom. We end up getting a break of structure on the 1-minute time frame, right? Because we broke structure to the downside. Let me get this out of the way. Hold on. Oh my God. I want to get this red line. All right, we'll just keep it. You should know what a break of structure is, right? We broke structure to the downside in the 1-minute. I'm waiting for a 1-minute break of structure to the upside to align with the 5-minute, right? Boom, we get that break of structure. I don't enter the trade yet. I want to see extra confirmation here, right? Because we have the potential to continue lower still. That's still in the back of my mind. I want full confirmation on this. So we see this 1-minute bullish fair value gap form. We'll X out this 5-minute, right? And now we can X out this red line. We form a 1-minute bullish fair value gap. 1-minute bullish, where is it? Boom, right there. Then we form a new high. So what can we mark out when we form a new high? Equilibrium, right? We don't disrespect this 1-minute bullish gap. What do we end up doing? Forming a 1-minute bearish fair value gap, right? This is going to show me if we end up coming out strong of this 1-minute bullish gap, and I love when this happens because it gives me extra confidence to get into this trade. From a 1-minute bearish gap, we're still bullish. We're still in the 1-minute bullish fair value gap. If we inverse this 1-minute bearish and get a bullish candle closure out of equilibrium, that is my entry. What ends up happening? Spink. We inverse this 1-minute bearish gap, showing me that selling. Bearish confirmation is getting disrespected. Bullish confirmation is getting respected, right? We're going to follow the trend, dude. It's the market showing me she wants to continue up. So I'm going to flow with it. And that's what I've been learning. The more experience I get is just follow the trend, and the probability of your trades are playing out more likely than the other, right? So what do? This is my entry. Boom. Stop loss below this. I put it below this candle's body, right? Because we already had the opportunity to come down lower. This is the pretty much that 5-minute low that should be protected. This should be a 5-minute protected low. So I wanted to risk around 7.25 points, which was fine with me. And my full take profit was a little bit below 410 because we had sell limit orders at 409 and 410. I took them at 409. But we also had another take profit. If we look at the 15-minute time frame, we had another 15-minute high up here where I took my first take profit, which was one contract off. So we'll put 25% TP, and you'll see this in the live video. And then my other take profit was like somewhere around here or something like that, right? 100% TP. I took this with 5 micros, 1 micro off here, 4 micros off here. But what else do we have? 5-minute time frame, right? Where can we have a good break-even level? If we break above this high, we should be pretty good, right? If we inverse this 15-minute fair value gap and break structure in the 15-minute time frame, we're most likely going to hit take profit. I was confident in that if that happened. But I wanted to see us react out of this 15-minute gap with some buying pressure, right? Like heavy buying pressure. And the buyers and sellers were fighting here, dude. They were fighting for a couple minutes. I was just like, oh shit, we might get stopped out there. But we end up just chopping around, and then we start getting some momentum to the upside, right? Break even level gets hit. I put my stop loss like below this low. I gave him a little bit of room to breathe, and then we let the full trade do its thing, right? It could have got stopped out here, but look, this is another thing. This is why I didn't panic on the pullback, and I kept my stop loss a little bit below break even, because if we form the 5-minute, go to the 5-minute time frame, 5-minute bullish, we had a 5-minute bullish for a value gap, right? Worst case scenario, we end up getting stopped out. What's the second case scenario? We come into this 5-minute, we continue higher. What's the third scenario? We just continue higher and we don't tap into the 5-minute. But we formed the 5-minute, we came down, we respected it, and then we also inversed this 15-minute gap on the 15-minute time frame around 10:30. I was like, sweet. We're looking good. I like this trade. This is a great trade. If we end up losing, that's just part of trading, dude. This was a great setup. Confirmation was there. We were patient. Wasn't taking off emotion. We trusted it. We took it with not full size, but pretty close. One more contract would have been full size. But again, since we had the potential to go short, it wasn't an A++ setup for me, right? So look, we end up hitting our our first take profit and then our full take profit. And look at this take profit because of Bookmap. Boom. Right? That's when shorts came in. And if you should be studying this and go back on your own on this day. It is January, February, March, April, May 7th, 2026. Go back and study this day because there was opportunities to the upside and to the downside. We end up forming, dude, a 15-minute S&T off of London session high where we took out this hourly low. We were bearish on the hourly time frame. This is when the move happened. When we formed that 15-minute S&T off of London session high right here, dude, bang, bang, S&T, right, is on the 15-minute time frame too. What do we then look for? S&T, I would wait on the 5-minute time frame, right? Okay, wait, this is the 15-minute. Hold on, we gotta go to the 15-minute. Yeah, 15-minute there. Boom, boom. S&T forms. ES is the leading index to the downside, which we wanted originally to target those 4-hour gaps and Asian session lows. And look at this shit, dude. We wait. What we would have waited for? Break a structure on the 5-minute time frame. Bang. Break structure. Boom. What do we wait for? We would wait for our pullback, right? We broke structure on this candle right here. We could probably look for a trade and start looking for one. But again, I'd probably wait for this gap to either get inversed or I'd probably scale down to the 1-minute time frame and look for confirmation, right? So what are we looking at here? We can go to the 1-minute time frame. We can see price dips down a lot. But look, if we go to the 5-minute time frame still, when do we create that newer low? Watch. Boom. We create that newer low. You can take out the fib right here. Take out the fib. Most recent high, most recent low. What do we get in? We come into our levels, the 0.705 range and 0.79, right? We look for a reaction off of these levels because if we mark out equilibrium, I already know this because I studied this trade. Equilibrium is a little far down, right? You could use the fib for another confirmation here, but we can see we never broke structure back to the upside. This is when we could scale down to the lower time frame, wait for our entry, right? What are we waiting for? The lower time frame to align with the higher time frame. And we can see NASDAQ broke structure on the 5-minute time frame right here also. 15-minute S&T, 5-minute break of structure. Bearish in the hourly time frame, which I was literally expecting this move. This is why I had this in the back of my pocket. What would we wait for? 1-minute break of structure. Boom. Wait for our confirmation. What do we look for? Fair value gap fill, equilibrium fill. Still bearish. We formed equilibrium. From this high to this low. What do we look for? Still nothing yet, really. We have a 1 minute bullish gap right here. If we got an inverse here, I would take a trade. 1 minute bullish ES. What do? Do we inverse it? Not yet. Bang, inverse. Entry. Oops. Let's fix that. Entry, stop loss, break even could be this level right here. And then first take profit if you want, second take profit, third take profit. That's what I'd do. And that's a 1 to 4.7 risk to reward. 4 points to make 22 points. This was the better trade of the day. And then watch this baby. And you tell me trading doesn't work. Boom, break even level. We're break even. We let that trade run, baby. Oh, let's see if it hits fully. Smack. That was a good setup also, man. So, again, there was 2 setups today. You should go back and study this on your own. Today was a good day, especially coming from yesterday. Yesterday was a little rough day for me because I made a mistake and I was a little hard on myself. And, again, I'm like that sometimes, and I really shouldn't be. But I don't know, man. Trading's difficult. If you think this stuff is easy, you got it totally wrong. You got to put in the time and the effort and study every single day. And that's just, again, common sense. So regardless, this is the trade I ended up taking today. We ended up making $3,000 on it. We could show my P&L. We showed anyway. We made $307 per account today. So this is on group 2. Group 2 on my PA accounts. Okay? All right, guys. Peace out. Hopefully this helps. Study it, journal it, see it, do it, love it. Goodbye.